Hello everybody, happy holidays. We're going to start today with some bondo eating. These are my quarter extensions for my 69 Charger. And out of all the tools that I could use, I think that this is my number one. The 2438 Milwaukee bondo eater. And then this guy's actually just a pretty good dual action sander. It is a 2648. And does a pretty good job with that. It has a pretty wide shake path though, and it's adjustable speed too. So that's all the way down. But I already started doing a little bit with this. And it does a pretty good job eating through. But I globbed all this on there to get a lot of product on there pretty quickly. So I'm going to eat it with this. So we'll go to time lapse and we'll see how this looks. And yeah, I gotta go put on a mask. Alright, so you see all that bondo I caked is now in this chair. And I've got basically my crack here covered. I got my crack covered. And this one, I'm guessing maybe it didn't have a crack because I can see metal right there. But I put just a little bit of filler. You can see it doesn't have enough on the end, I don't think. But I'm going to go fit them up, see how they fit, and probably spend another, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours on this. You can see I've got probably over 1/8 of an inch on this one that it's sticking out. That might end up being the perfect amount. So I think this one's close to lining up with the trunk. And this one might need a little bit more. And all this is because my quarters got mounted on a little bit farther forward than they should have been. Which puts where the trunk mounts on the Dutchman, pushes the trunk back a little bit towards the back of the car. And then when these quarter extensions go on the back, the trunk is sticking out. If these two are like this, the trunk edge is sticking out from these. Maybe that 1/8 of an inch is what it is. So, I mean, just that little bit too far forward that I've got my quarters mounted makes me have to do some adjustments here in order. I mean, you can bolt it all up and it will look okay. There's a lot of cars that don't have that really great fit, but I'm going for everything to look not out of place. And if somebody knows these, they could look at this and go, man, that's too thick for a factory part. But I don't have a factory car. None of it's factory. So anyway, that's 2 great tools that Milwaukee has that I use for bondo all the time. That's this 2438. I love it. You can see in the time lapse, it just ate every bit of that bondo off of there just like that. And this guy here, this is the 2648. And it does really good for a battery-powered DA sander. But this thing is a beast. If you have that battery on there, I mean, you know what that battery weighs. It's like the weight of 2 batteries, maybe a little more. But it does do good. So, oh, it looks like it's got a bagging feature too, because it's blowing. All right, that's my update for what I'm doing. So see you in about 10 hours after I get this all squared away. Okay, after about 4 hours of shaping. That's how it's gonna look. I've got the little spacer. Found those, so that's the spacer. I think this is my factory spacer that I'm putting back on there. And this left side turned out pretty good if I get it right where I want it. The bolt holds it right there, and that's where the trunk is going to sit. So I've got that really nice and even, and that even, and you can see what it took. If it's in the right light, you can tell it's just got a little bit of a skim coat right there to build up that edge, just a smidge. Didn't take much on this side. The other side took a little more, so let me grab that one. Oh, I don't have the spacer. So spacer goes on. And that's going to be about where I want it, right about there. And then you can see all lines is nice. But yeah, this one took a little bit more. You can see somebody that really knows these parts, they'll be able to tell this is just a little bit wider through there, but it's smoothed out pretty good. That kicks out maybe almost to 1/8, but maybe a little less than that. But to go on, I think that's gonna look nice. So lots of work, but it's these little detail things. Dad and I just ran up to Home Depot and we were talking that maybe some of the bigwig shows, Kindig or somebody like that, might take, and to make this right, the trunk and all of that, they may have moved the quarter back that smidge that it needed, and then it would have made my front end align a little better. But Pops was also saying is they could have cut this and moved it back, taken the space out of here, that way these stayed factory. But the least of all evils for me is build that up and make this edge match this edge, and then we're golden. So that's what I did. Little thing to, I think that if this was back from this and you saw that this trunk stuck out, it would draw your eye to it. And now I think nobody's going to be the wiser. They're just going to look at it and it goes, oh, that is a nice smooth, man, that fits really nice. Where really this one is just a smidge wider than that side. But you can see this comes down and gets wide at the bottom here too. So I don't know how other shops might do it or how they might attempt to get this fitting better, but I'm happy with how I did it. And all that looks nice and flush across there. So cool beans. That's it from Clark's Place. See y'all a little later. Bye-bye.